Okay, so on this first one, you're supposed to graph these. So it says x-intercept of 1, which is right here, y-intercept of -2, which is down here. So now you just connect the dots. So if I do this, anyways, not the best, but you get the idea. So now in question 3, in order to do that one, it's easier if you will solve for y. Or you can also do it another way. I'll show you on 4 another way. So on question 3, if I subtract 3x from each side, I now have y equals -3x plus 3. Remember, this is the y-intercept and this is the slope. So I'm going to go up here to the y-intercept of 3, and the slope is -3 over 1. Even though we don't write it over 1, it's an understood over 1. So I go down 3 over 1, and I could keep doing that for as long as you wanted to. Okay, so same thing up here. I could go up 3 and left 1 instead to the right. But so now I can just connect those dots. So that's one method. You solve for y. So on this one, I could minus the 2x and divide everything. So to show you what I mean, minus the 2x. So 5y equals -2x plus 5. Divide it by 5. And y equals -2/5 x plus 1. Okay, so plus 1. That's one method. Another method is to solve for the x and y intercepts. So to solve for the x-intercept, you let y be 0. So the x-intercept is 1 when y equals 0. So I just plug a 0 in right here because 5 times 0 is 0. And I get that 2x equals 5. So 2x equals 5. Divide it by 2, x equals 5 halves, or 2.5. So that's the x-intercept. The y-intercept, I need to be able to see what the y value was. So to find the y-intercept, I change the x to 0. So now I just divide it by 5, and y equals 1. So then I connect those dots. Whoops. So I could also look at this and be like, I go down 2, right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So left 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anyways, that's the equation of the line. Two different ways. One, you solve for y, then you have the m and the b. The other way is to find the x and y intercept. So to find the x-intercept and then find the y-intercept. And to find the x one, you let y equals 0. To find the y-intercept, x equals 0. Okay, so those are the two different methods to do that. So number 5, it's already written in mx plus b form. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to start at -4 because that's the y-intercept. Then I'm going to go up 9 and right 4. Okay. On number 7, it has a -y. So I'm going to multiply or divide everything by -1. So y equals -2x minus 3. So I start at -3, I go down 2 over 1. I can keep the same pattern going. And then I just connect those dots. Okay. So number 9, it says find the slope of each line. I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 1. So my slope is 7 over 1. This one I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1, 2, 3. So down 5 over 3. So number 11, it says find the slope. So I'm going to go y minus y. So 11 minus a minus 7. So that was y minus y. Now I'm going to do x minus x. Okay? Doesn't like the highlighter. So x minus x, 11 minus 9. So minus and minus turns into a plus, so that's 18 over 2, which makes 9. I also could have done it the other way, negative 7 minus 11. So this y minus that y, second x minus the first x. 9 minus 11, I get negative 18 over negative 2, and negative divided by negative is a positive, and I get 9. On number 13, the slope is the number in front of x when y is all by its lonesome, so the slope is negative 5 halves. On this one, on number 15, if I have a new line that's parallel to it, again, it will be the exact same slope. So m equals 3/4. So on number 17, it says, find the slope of a line perpendicular to each given line. So remember, that's really over 1. So perpendicular is flipped upside down, and it's the opposite sign. So since this was negative, this one will be positive. So over here, the slope of a perpendicular line will be 3/4. Since this is positive, this one will be negative. So they're always backwards of each other as far as the sign goes. We call it the negative reciprocal. One's positive, one's negative, and they are reciprocated each other. So this one says, right, the slope-intercept form, so y equals mx plus b. So there's the y-intercept. So that's b equals negative 3. And then the slope, I'm looking to find where they intersect really well. That's close, but then if I try the same thing, it's not quite there. So there's another one right there. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is 7/4. So now all I have to do is replace the m and the b. So y equals 7/4 x minus 3. If I look at the next one over here, crosses the y-axis right there. So that's at -4. That's the y-intercept, which is b. Okay. Now I'm going to try to find again where they really cross. That looks like a good place. So it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 2. So my slope, it goes down 7 and over 2. So y equals -7/2 x minus 4. So on the next one, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of each line. So it's the same thing, just not in a picture form. This is m, this is b. Y equals -2x plus 0. We don't really need the 0. This one, y equals, that's the m, that's the b. Y equals -4/3 x plus 1. I told you not to worry about the standard form, so we aren't going to worry about that. So I did want you to do 31, but I wanted you to put it in this form, y equals mx plus b, when you were all done. And so there's multiple ways to do this. So remember, I told you there are two ways to do this, y equals mx plus b, or y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. So this is x and y, or x1, y1, whatever way you wanted to think of it. And that's the slope. So if I use the first equation, y is -3, m is -4/3, x is 4 plus b. So -3 equals -16/3 plus b. So now I add 16/3 to the other side. So -3 is really like if I have 3 holes and I cut them into 3 pieces, that's 9/3. Common denominator, multiply top and bottom by 3. So negative 9/3 plus 16/3, I get that B equals 7/3. So I now have the M and the B, so I can just write y equals 7/3, not 7/3 x. Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 7/3. Again, if you were to do it another method, so you're using this other method, y minus y1 equals m negative 4/3 x, whoops, y minus a minus, so that makes it plus, x minus 4. So I have y plus 3 equals negative 4/3 x minus 16/3 minus the 3 minus the 3. Whoops, that should be a positive. Negative times a negative. So 3 wholes is the same as multiply top and bottom by 3. 9/3, so 16 minus 9 is 7/3. So y equals negative 4/3 x plus 7/3. There is one more way. I'll hurry and show it. Y equals m x minus h plus k. This is the h and this is the k. So it's the same as the y minus y1, x1. This is a mess. H is really the same as x1 and k is really y1. So just a different way to say it. So y equals negative 4/3 x, which we said is 4, or h, which is 4, and k, which is negative 3. So I distribute that. I get negative 4/3 x plus 16/3. I'm going to change this 3 to be thirds, multiply top and bottom by 3, minus 9/3. 16 minus 9 is 7/3. So there's 3 different ways to do the same problem. You get the same answer each time. You pick which one you like and do it that way.
Teachers, please excuse the interruption, but if there's any DNA class kids here, please come to the office.
So y equals negative 4/3 x plus 7/3 was that answer as we just discovered on there.